Woman in Black. This story is from 1906, in a village in England. A lawyer named Arthur Kipps comes to meet his client, Kristen. Arthur is walking to Kristen's house with a suitcase in hand. He sees that the children are looking strangely at him from the windows in the houses that were built in the village. He waved his hand towards a child and smiled, but the child immediately closed the window and went further inside the house. This is a very strange village. He comes to Kristen's house and starts giving her some paperwork. Kristen says with regret,
"I'm very sorry, Arthur. Your wife was a very good woman. I'm very sad to hear that your wife and child are no longer in this world."
"Nothing we can do can change the past, Mrs. Kristen." Arthur and Kristen are talking when Arthur hears a strange voice. He thought it odd that Kristen didn't seem to notice this voice. "Do you know, Mrs. Kristen, who is this crying?"
Just something that happens every month in this village, Arthur. Whenever she comes, the danger is started hovering on the children of this village. The child of the woman whose voice you are listening to has also committed suicide.
"What? Suicide? What are you talking about?"
Yes, suicide. She has done all this. Because of her, 10 years ago, my 3 daughters gave their lives by jumping from the window.
Kristen stares listfully at the photo frame of her 3 daughters. Arthur becomes restless after hearing all this. He misses his wife and his daughter. He takes a handkerchief out of his pocket and gives it to Kristen. Kristen wipes her tears.
Thank you, Arthur. How long are you staying?
"I have about a week's worth of work, Mrs. Kristen."
You are our guest. Go and relax in the guest room.
Arthur wanted to know the whole story. "Mrs. Kristen, can you tell me who is doing all of this?"
Don't bother yourself with that, Mr. Arthur. Go and get some rest.
Arthur came to the guest room and stood near the window, looking at a picture of his wife. When Arthur looked at the mirror in the room, he saw that a woman was standing behind him in black clothes. Her face was white and dark circles were under her eyes. As soon as Arthur looked back, there was no one behind him. Arthur was confused. He started looking out of the window. He saw the same woman sitting in the same dark clothes. Arthur went there running with a lantern and saw that there was suddenly no one there. Arthur started to look forward. There was complete silence in the village. How do people here fall asleep so soon? Arthur was about to go back to his guest room when he saw a child standing on top of a well. Arthur was terrified to see him there. "Hey, kid, get down! That's dangerous!" The child looked back at him. His eyes were black and he was crying. When the child looked at Arthur, he smiled and then jumped into the well. "Oh no!" Arthur came running to the well and looked into the well in shock. He saw the same woman standing in front of him wearing black clothes. "Who are you?" The woman started to move away, so Arthur ran to follow her. He came to an open field and looked around with his lantern, but saw nothing. Then, as soon as he turned around, the same woman was standing in front of him.
"Get out of here. You will not be able to save anyone."
The woman becomes smoke and vanishes into the air, wisping past Arthur in the wind. The next day, Arthur was disturbed by the death of that child. Every day, another child disappeared. Arthur was starting to go crazy.
What's wrong, Mr. Arthur? Aren't you getting good sleep at night? Why are you feeling so sick?
"See, Mrs. Kristen, I've seen this woman so many times, wearing black clothes. Who is she? Please tell me, Mrs. Kristen, otherwise I might go crazy with this. It's really heavy on my mind." Kristen saw Arthur's condition and made him sit and gave him a glass of water.
Drink water, Mr. Arthur.
Arthur drank water and began looking at Kristen.
The woman you see is known as the woman in black in this village. She lived in this village. She had 2 children. Her husband died, and she loved her children very much. She had to leave her children alone at home to work. One day, her children fell into a well while playing, and none of the villagers paid attention to her children. When she returned home from work, she saw that her children were not at home. She gathered the villagers and started searching for the children. While searching, she came to know that her children had died after falling into a well. But she went mad, and she expressed her anger to the villagers about how no one paid any attention to her children. So she too jumped into the well and died. Since then, whenever she comes to the village to mourn her children, the children of the villagers start committing suicide.
Listening to Kristen, Arthur became even more upset.
I understand how you might feel, Arthur, but you will not be able to face her. She is very powerful. It is in your best interest to leave from here.
"No, Mrs. Kristen, I cannot go on like this. I've seen those parents who have lost their children. I've lost my own wife and child. I cannot leave without some resolution to these murders."
I understand how you might feel, Arthur, but you will not be able to face her. She is very powerful. You go away from here, Arthur. Nothing will change here.
Arthur walked back towards his guest room. It was dark, and he was walking to his room and looking out the window. And then again he saw that black woman. "I will not let you kill any child today." Arthur runs towards the black woman. The black woman was not there. Then he saw a child leave his house and started running towards the well. Arthur ran to him and picked him up in his lap and started running away. Seeing this, the black woman was furious and came to him and pushed him. Arthur fell to the ground and his head was hit on a stone. Then the child got up again and started walking towards the well under the influence of the black woman. Arthur woke up again and ran to save the child, but by then the child had jumped.
I told you that you would not be able to save anyone.
The black woman disappeared. Arthur was badly broken after seeing this. He went to the guest room and started looking at himself in the mirror. His heart and his mind were broken. "I have no right to live. I should die." Arthur went to the roof of his guest room and jumped from there and died. Kristen could not understand Arthur's decision. The shadow of the black woman has never left that village, and even today the children of that village are not safe from the havoc of the woman in black. The end.